El Presidente at the Stanhope House on Black Friday. I'm sitting down with Ross from the Donner Party. Really fucking cool crossover band that I discovered here at the Stanhope House, and I've seen you at least 3 times.
Cool.
How long has Murphy's Law been doing the Black Friday thing here?
This is the 3rd year, I believe, for Murphy's Law Black Friday. At least we've played it 3 years in a row, so I don't know if it's the thing they've had going prior to that, but it's the 3rd year for us.
So you guys have been on every one?
I think so, yeah. So this is one of our regular stomping grounds, so we're always a pleasure to play here. So
it's pretty cool. I like the idea of having it at the same time every year. It's almost like the holiday. Instead of getting together with your family, you get together with friends and fucking music heads, and it's easier to remember. It's like, oh, when was that show, man? I think it was last week. Same time every year, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
And it's an amazing thing for me because Murphy's Law for me was a band that I listened to when I was like a little kid. Like I had the cassette of the first one, the self-titled Murphy's Law album, and I played the shit out of that. And then in the 90s, I was into the hardcore scene, and I went to the Pipeline, a lot of the local clubs around here, and I used to see Murphy's Law all the time. So it's very cool to share the stage with them because I've kind of followed them my whole life. So it's awesome.
Yeah, I remember last year or the year before you broke out the cassette.
I have the cassette. I try to bring a relic every year to show everybody. So
you brought the flyer from the Pipeline tonight.
Yeah.
Was that an original flyer, or did you print that?
That's an original flyer. No, I'm like a hoarder. I keep everything. So.
I was gonna say I am the same fucking way, man.
Yeah,
I got mountains of CDs in I finally got my own house, and I have a room. My wife calls it my office, which is, I laugh every time she calls it that because it's just shit everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. I still buy CDs. I have not gone to the old streaming thing yet, but my thing is movies, and I collect VHS tapes.
Oh, yeah?
And my apartment is basically like a video store. Like, it's just wall-to-wall shelving. Everything's neat, alphabetical.
Oh, yeah?
But it's just like... It looks like an insane person lives there. Unless you like living in a video store, then it's great.
Nah, that's cool. I love that shit.
Yeah.
No more blockbusters. So, that's what I'm missing though. The organization. I think that's what's key.
Yeah, that is key.
But tell me real quick, how long you guys been a band? Because
we put our first EP out in 2010. So next year will be 10 years for the Donner Party. Okay, it's crazy. But
same lineup the whole time?
We exchanged one member. We had another guitarist earlier on. He split, and we got Matt, and it was great. It like breathed new life into the band, gave us a new lease on life, and I mean he's been with us for a number of years, probably 6 years or more now. So yeah, it's been great.
Nice. And I gotta ask you about your gear, because your guitar sounds so fucking thick. It's like a Southern girl, man. It's just like so insane. Like, what are you, what kind of head you using? What kind of guitar? How do you get that sound?
This is gonna make everybody who's a gearhead listening to this is gonna laugh, because I actually get ribbed about my gear a lot. I have an Aria Pro 2 guitar, and is the first guitar I ever owned. I got it in the 7th grade. I bought it for $80, and over the years I have bought many other guitars, many other styles, but I just keep going back to that guitar, and it definitely needs some love. It's falling apart, all the knobs fell off, but that's my sound, man. So
it sounds massive.
Yeah, and we use a combo of like Marshall stuff and then like Line 6, which a lot of people shit on, but I like the high end, I like the crunch, and the two mixed together. Definitely, you got the balls, and then you got that high end buzz, and so that's how we make our sound.
Nice. Yeah, I had a Line 6 pedal for a while. I like those. I still do.
Yeah.
I don't play much anymore, but so I heard you guys are working on a new record, 16 songs.
That's true.
When can we expect it? How far along are you guys with this thing?
We recorded our new record with Mike Sabatini, who is the drummer of the band Attacker from back in the 80s. And he was in the Jersey Dogs, which was a really cool New Jersey thrash band that I love. And became friends with Mike, opening shows for Attacker. And I found out that he had a studio spot. And so we recorded with Mike, Band Mother Recording Studios. And the record is done. It's 16 songs, completely recorded. We've just got to mix and master. So I would expect it like early next year. January, February would be my guess. So we're just working on the artwork and everything, and then we're going to unleash it. I'm super proud of the record, so it's going to be great.
Now, last record, you had Eddie from Leeway doing a guest spot. You got any guests on this record? Or?
We don't. There's a couple people I tried to get, but it just didn't work out, and then I just decided, I'm just going to do it all myself. But yeah, the thing with Eddie was great, man. Leeway is definitely like top 3 for me all time. I think Born to Expire is not only like one of the best New York hardcore records, but one of the best thrash records ever. So I wrote that song, and I was like, this sounds like a Leeway song, man. And I'm like, maybe I should just ask Eddie to like sing on it with me, and it just worked out. It was awesome. So
was that through playing together here at the Stanhope House that you met up with Eddie, or did you know him prior?
I mean, I've been following Leeway for years. I've seen them play live a shitload of times. Even with the Desperate Measures lineup, I saw them. But yeah, just from like playing locally, we played with Leeway a bunch of times. And then after we did the song, Eddie's been hooking us up with shows here and there. So yeah, it's always a pleasure to share the stage with them because they're like another huge childhood influence for me. So.
They're a band I always heard of but never really checked out, and then when I saw them here, I think you guys played as well last time. Fucking blown away, dude. I love it when I discover like these bands that have been sitting there the whole time and have like a whole catalog already. It's so exciting to discover that.
I saw the video for Kingpin at Leeway on Headbangers Ball when I was a kid. So I would watch Headbangers Ball, and then I'd take my allowance and go buy a cassette every week. And like I bought Murphy's Law, I bought Leeway, I bought Gorilla Biscuits, I bought Warzone, and I didn't even know about New York hardcore. I was just like, to me, they were just all bands. At the same time, I was buying Testament and Overkill and all that shit. And so that's kind of what our sound is, really. That's how the crossover thing kind of came about. Obviously, DRI is one of my all-time favorite bands. So,
why do all these bands come? I mean, I know Stanhope, New Jersey is just a cultural hub, and it's as famous as Austin, Texas, or Brooklyn, New York. But how the fuck do all these bands end up here?
I don't know, but somebody's doing something right. I mean, back in the day, this was not a spot that you played. It was all blues artists. It was like a roadhouse.
Right.
And then I saw that they started doing hip-hop. They had Rakim up here. And
when was the first time you guys played here?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if it was a Leeway show or if it was just a show with a bunch of local bands, but once they started doing, I saw, they had KRS-One and some hip-hop, and then I saw, like, one day Agnostic Front is playing at the Stanhope House, and that was the first one I remember where it was like, oh, shit, like, what is going on up there? And then, they just kept bringing bands through, and I don't know if it was Leeway that was the first for us, or but we played here with the Cro-Mags. We played here with Murphy's Law a bunch of times. We played here with DRI now a couple times, and so as anytime those bands come through, any band that I grew up listening to, I want to play with. So it's awesome.
It's so awesome that all those bands from the New York hardcore scene are still active and. You know what I mean? And still playing out.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's totally cool. So
I saw you guys met Scott Ian and Charlie Benante from Anthrax. And you titled Pizza Patrol meets was it Douche Squad?
Yeah.
Were they douchey?
No, they were cool.
I've heard Scott Ian can be a bit of a douche
too, but I just said what's up real quick, and I gave him a Pizza Patrol Donner Party disc, and I just said, hey, aside from Anthrax, like that SOD record is really special to me, so maybe you'd want to check out what I'm doing. And they were cool about it, so that was cool. Yeah.
I met Rex Brown from Pantera, and Pantera's my favorite band.
Yeah.
And he couldn't have been a bigger douche.
That's the worst, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then I thought, I give him a pass. I was like, maybe it was a bad day, whatever. He was like at a book signing. He was probably tired or whatever. But then I interviewed him, and it was even worse.
Oh, that sucks. Sometimes you don't even want to meet them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like...
That's the old saying, don't meet your heroes. But But then again, you got to take chances. So
I was out at a show this weekend. I went to see Youth of Today and was on Friday night, and then Judge played on Saturday night in Asbury Park. And we were eating tacos, and I saw Purcell from Youth of Today and Shelter like in the taco restaurant, and like huge influence for me as a guitar player, even though you might not hear it when we play, and I'm like, you know what, I don't even want to say what's up, because I don't, you know what I mean, I don't want it spoiled, so I'm just I'll wait till he passes, and then we'll go see the show. But yeah, great show.
Nice. All right, well, Ross, I appreciate it, man. I'll be checking out the new album. Can't wait to see you guys play again, and thanks so much for making the time, man. I don't want to make you miss Murphy's Law. So
it's cool, man. Thanks for having me, and thrash on.
Right on.
This is Ross Snyder from the Donner Party, and you're listening to the Chainsaw Symphony on Chaos Radio Austin. The best decision you made all day.